Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about my approach to trading. So before we dive into this, I want to say you need to be prepared to unlearn to relearn. What I mean by this is some things you're going to see in this course you may have never seen before, and other things you may have seen before but used in different ways. So I do believe it is important to unlearn what you know, to relearn a new approach. Okay, give yourself a fresh perspective and a fresh outlook on the markets and how to trade them. So let's dive into my approach. When it comes to the economic and chart work, the fundamentals and the technicals, I use a simplistic, clean approach. I like to keep that as simple as possible because it's something we have to do every single day. There is no need to overcomplicate and confuse ourselves. I put quite the emphasis on money management protocols. Now, this is, in my opinion, one of the most important areas of trading. When it comes down to the trades, we are essentially flipping a coin, right? We can trade with accuracy and we can catch big winners, but the maintaining profits and building profits all comes down to the money management protocols. So that is something that, if you are heavily chart focused, you should begin learning about in this course, and you really need to open your eyes to. Psychology trumps everything. So mindset is what's going to allow us to either follow or fail to follow trading processes, the money management protocols, the technical and the fundamental steps. So we need that psychology, we need that discipline and emotional control to actually do everything else. So for that reason, I say psychology over everything. So my technical and fundamental trading, I trade with around an 80-20 ratio. So I'd say 80% of my work in this area is on the charts, technical work, and the other 20% is fundamentals, so economics focused. Now, fundamentals do matter, in my opinion. They are great to follow. They give you additional clarity and confidence and a logical direction for the market. However, when it comes down to the actual trades, we are not investors as such. We are here to dive in and dive out, be it in the space of an hour or a month. So the fundamentals can take time to kick in. Now, if you are a trader as opposed to an investor, what the charts are showing you are 9 times out of 10 going to, take power over the fundamentals. We could get some news that suggests the dollar is going to fall, but as it turns out, the chart keeps rising for another 2 days, another 2 weeks. So for that reason, I do trade with an 80-20 approach. Okay, I take in the fundamentals and I understand the economics and I do track them and they are useful. But when it comes down to the taking trading opportunities, technicals, in my opinion, and the chart work itself is going to take the crown. So when it comes to my technical work, I trade with a lot of focus on supply and demand. Now, supply and demand is why the market moves. Okay, supply of certain currencies and the demand for certain currencies. If traders and investors are seeing demand, if they see reason to buy a currency, demand increases, right? And when demand increases, people buy up and supply decreases. Now, this is essentially basic economics. So you might want to dive into that if you don't understand that already. But when demand rises, supply will fall as people are buying up the supply. And likewise, when demand falls, people are going to be selling, right? And supply builds. So the market moves on supply and demand. That's something we'll get further into later in the course. But for now, that is a big focus of my trading. Now, I do also put a lot of emphasis on market structure. I think market structure is very important. I don't do trend lines. I don't do BS. I just like to see the real structure highs and lows of the market and how they react to one another. I call my approach to trading market flow. Now, this is because we flow with the market, and I believe this is a nice fitting name. When I'm trading, I focus on a few specific currencies, okay? This course is not designed for these specific currencies. You can trade any currencies with what you're about to learn, but my personal watch list is primarily pound focused. I also trade the dollar and gold. And as well as this, I do also trade the euro as well. So while I focus on a few specific currencies, do not feel caged to do so. You are going to learn things that are going to work in many different environments across many different assets. So when it comes to the psychology side, I believe we need a strong psychology to actually hold the discipline and control the emotions that we see and feel when we're trading. For this reason, I'm always working on consistent self-development, eating clean, exercising, staying active, meditating. All these things will come down to a strong psychology and are going to make or break you as a trader. So as well as this, I'm always ingesting new information, be it books, backtesting my trading as well to get more data on that. And, generally studying things to better myself as a person. Now, all of this might seem wishy-washy if you're not into it yet, but trading is heavily psychology based. And if you don't have a strong mindset, you're not going to have strong success in the market. So definitely stay working on your mindset at all times. Consistent self-development is necessary to build that discipline, to build that emotional control that we need in order to succeed. So to conclude my approach then, I trade with simple trading processes. I like to keep everything as easy and clean as possible. I like to keep my psychology strong, consistent work on that to build my mindset and maintain my mindset. And I also like to be very strict and very consistent with the money management protocols. Now, I do believe that risk management and risk evaluation is probably the make or break of all traders. So we are going to dive quite deep into money management. We will talk about psychology, and then we will dive into the chart work so you can see what it is that I actually use to succeed. So I'll see you over in the next video when we're going to talk about my 5 core principles for trading success. Now, these are essentially 5 commandments that I live by to trade successfully and consistently. So I'll see you over in the next video. And yeah.